What's up, you guys? It's Caltoon here, and welcome to Anime with Callie Sensei. So today, I'm going to be talking about the anime slash game Danganronpa. So Danganronpa was originally a video game first, before it became an anime and stuff like that. So the game and anime are the same thing. All right, just get that out of there. I'm gonna just let you know that. So basically, you are the main character, and you're the main character, and you have to basically solve the murders that go on in school. You're living at school. There's this antagonist who's he gives motives and all of this. His name's Monokuma. He gives all of these motives to help the rest of the kids basically kill each other while they're living in school. And each time someone dies, you have to look for the clues and just figure out who is the killer and kind of figure out the motive of why they killed them. You know what I mean? So, that's the purpose of Danganronpa, okay? Now, it was originally a game first before it became an anime. So literally, the game is copy and paste towards the anime. It's copy and paste, but without the not having motion. You know what I mean? They just animated it. And the very first Danganronpa got a lot of backlash. Not the game, but when it was animated, a lot of people didn't really like it, which I didn't really understand, because I'm like, well, it's copy and paste of the game. The game did really good. Why are you upset about the anime? But so that happened, and because of the backlash that they got, the second game is Danganronpa has 4 games, okay? So, it's Danganronpa, and it's Danganronpa 2, I think it's like Despair or something like that. And then there's Danganronpa version 3, where you're playing as totally different people. But, so, the first Danganronpa is copy and paste, like the game is copy and paste to the anime. I don't understand why, but because it got so much backlash, they didn't animate the second game. So, if you want to watch Danganronpa, it's such a weird thing that you have to do. So, you can watch. I recommend to watch it, but this is how you would watch it. So, you would you either play the game, which you can get it on PlayStation, you can get it on PC. I think it's on Xbox. I'm not 100% sure. You could play the game, right? You could play the first and second game, and then watch the anime. The second season of the anime, or you can watch the first anime, watch the game, and then watch the anime again. Because they didn't animate the second game, it's either you have to watch somebody play it yourself, or get somebody to briefly like run through all of the murders that happened and explain the game to you. You know what I mean? So that you can understand it. Because they animated the first game, the second game is crucial. You need to know that information to get into the second season of the anime that they have. Because the second season is broken up into 2 parts. So it's the second season is there's one that's called Future Arc and one that's called Despair Arc. And if you play the second game, you can watch the Despair Arc to understand why the characters in the second game are the way that they are. And if you because if you just watch the second part, you would be like, without playing the game, you would be like, well, who are these characters? I'm not understanding the importance of them. You know what I mean? So it would be that, and then after you finish that, the Despair Arc, you would go into the Future Arc, which you would rekindle with the people from the first anime first game. Okay? It's very confusing. Oh, and there's an OVA that needs to be watched in between it. So this is how I watched it. I was originally, how I got into it, I was originally watching Berlizzi. I'm gonna put his link in the description. Berlizzi, his channel. I was watching him play Danganronpa, the first game, and I felt like it was super interesting. But he wasn't uploading videos all the time for it, and which I understand. I'm not pressuring him into doing that. because the game does get frustrating. So I decided to watch the anime, right? So when I was watching the anime of it, I was like, oh, okay, this is basically the same thing as the game. And then I realized I started to try to watch the second season, and I was like, who are these characters? So I stopped myself and had to watch the second game. But Berlizzi wasn't playing the second game at the time. So, and I like to watch Berlizzi play Danganronpa because he does the voice acting, he puts jokes, he makes it funny, even when he gets upset about it, because it'd be like dragging out, because sometimes they do drag out stuff, he still makes it entertaining, you know, which I hate when people be getting mad because he gets upset when I got upset as well, you know what I mean? But because he wasn't playing the second game, I decided to watch some other YouTuber played it, and he complained the whole game, and I was upset that I wasted my time, because the second game is at least like 30 hours. You have to watch 30 hours of it to truly understand when you watch the second season, to understand what the despair arc is, to get those characters to understand who they are, and get a feel for it. So this is how I watched it. I watched the first I was watching some of the games and watched the first season of the anime. Then I watched the whole second season, the second game, right? I watched the second game. From the second game, there's an OVA on YouTube, and I watched that. Alright? It's not necessary, but it explains what's going on with the second characters at the end of the game, and I don't want to spoil anything. I watched it to truly understand everything. From that point, I got into the spare arc, watched that, and got clarification for why the second characters are the way that they are. And then from there, you watch the future arc, because the future arc connects to the second and the game of the second game, the ending of the second game. Okay, that's how I watched it. Now, if you want to, you could. I feel like it would spoil it if you would watch the despair arc before watching the second game, simply because there's certain situations that happen, and when you're playing the second game, you don't know that those characters are like that. You know what I mean? Or those situations happen. So I wouldn't want to watch the despair arc in the anime before watching the game. I think that it's like 12 episodes each season. That's like 36 episodes. You can get it done out the way real fast. But because you gotta watch the second game for 30 hours, that's my only problem. That's my con with watching Danganronpa, the whole series, because they could have easily animated the second one. But listen to this, because the second game did so good, they was able to animate the rest of the show. So why didn't you just animate the second one? I guess they didn't want no more backlash, blah blah blah. But literally after that, that's all of the anime. The rest of the games are pointless. It's just repetitive. It's, if you want to play, you play it, but it gets annoying at some point. There's a separate game where it's like a first-person shooter, and you're playing as the main character from the first one. You're playing Makoto's sister, which is weird. It has it's no real trials or anything. You're just killing Monokumas, and then Monokuma is the name of the antagonist. And the last game that they made, Danganronpa V3, I think was a little garbage. Like,
know your fucking place, trash.
Sorry, Danganronpa community, but I think it's garbage. Alright? It had no substance. Everything just seemed, repetitive. And I just was like, whatever. They did have a couple twists, but for, yeah, I wasn't really feeling it. But yeah, I recommend, if you want to watch it, you should watch it. It's actually on Funimation, the anime, if you would like it. Or you can watch the game, the first two games. That's 60 hours of your life. That's up to you. And if you are watching it or watching somebody play the game, make sure it's somebody that you enjoy or somebody that can make the game fun for you and it won't drag out. Like Breezy, watch his stuff. He made it so much enjoyable, and because of him I watched the anime and I appreciate it. So yeah, if you like this video, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell to know when I'm posting, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.